but malaria doesn't give two the stuff that was done to eradicate malaria in Lusaka. Why hasn't it been done in other parts? Whether you've been exercising, how old you are, how young you are, you can go just like that. No. Why malaria kills more than COVID? How come in Lusaka there's no malaria, but when you come to a place like Copperbelt, Kitwe, Ndola, malaria is like this? And there are people who die every day, malaria. But if we I can count in my 4 years how many people I've seen die of COVID, but malaria, it's uncountable. From my experience working at a hospital as a student 3 years, and as a medical doctor approximately 4 months in the emergency department. And from what I've seen, when I was a student for 3 years in med school, and the time I've been a doctor for 4 months in emergency. So emergency, you only get patients who are about to die. Yeah, if you don't do something, approximately from 0 to 15 minutes from the understanding of trash. So this video, by the way, is for dummies. If you are an intellectual and you've already been, you're in med school or you're a doctor, this video is not for you. Skip it. Skip it, go watch MK, Ninja Nerd, what? This one is for dummies like myself. Yeah, so I'm making things super simple that anyone who is watching can understand. So yeah, this is the Scrabble. Yeah, so one question I always ask myself is like, how come in Lusaka there's no malaria, but when you come to a place like Copperbelt, Kitwe, Ndola, malaria is like this, so it's you get to wonder why, because the stuff that was done to eradicate malaria in Lusaka, why hasn't it been done in other parts of Zambia? Because I can tell you almost all the departments that I've worked in, whether it be the maternity side where you have pregnant women, whether it be with little children, whether it be with adults, you will find that someone has malaria. All the departments have the heavy burden of malaria. So I really wonder, it's just a question like, what is going on, and why haven't we done something about it? I know, and why I've talked about COVID is because we gave COVID a lot of attention. We gave COVID a lot, not just as a particular country, continent, but as the world. But here, from my point of view, we still have a long way to go when it comes to malaria. Yeah, so, and there are people who die every day, malaria. But if I can count in my 4 years how many people I've seen die of COVID, but malaria, it's uncountable. It is real. I'm not to undermine, like, if you've had a relative who's passed away from COVID, I sympathize with you. My condolences. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just curious in that, okay, we handled this because it was killing people and it was a global pandemic. But I see we are still suffering with the malaria. People are still dying daily. If you walk into any hospital outside Zambia right now, even clinics, I can almost bet you, just chill there even for 30 minutes, 1 hour, there will be one positive RDT, rapid diagnostic test for malaria. It's so important that as you are testing for BP, you also have to test for malaria, and it can present like anything. and people are dying. It's not something to, malaria is not something to joke about or laugh about or wah, you know. At least COVID, maybe if you are fit, you have no comorbidities, and this is not to undermine anyone who died from it or has any relative who died from this, no. But at least Naturiko, we know, and young, we were expecting, even if you have COVID, at least maybe, and maybe as Africa, where bones are just tough tested, we're expecting you to come out of it. But malaria doesn't give it doesn't give anything. It doesn't care whether you've been healthy, whether you've been exercising, how old you are, how young you are, you can go just like that, you know. And ask those people outside Lusaka if what I'm saying is a lie. Malaria can take you into first muzamba na confessions. You are just confessing things cerebral. Wow, you know, weak. Your kidneys gone, liver gone. Yeah, so if you want the medical fancy terms of how they go, like I said, you go to those academic. But this one is for the non-academicians. So it's more like a question. What is really going on? Those who have done your public health and whatnot, time of budget, kindly explain to me what really is going on. So yeah, I guess that is the word for the day. Malaria. And thank you for watching. Next, I need to do something cool at the end of this video. Maybe like write malaria and scrap.